What's going on, guys? This is Miasin, and today I'm not alone. I'm actually joined with my boy Simon. Yo, what's good, Simon?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you, man.
Yo, very good to see you. So, yo, what's up, man? What do you have for us?
I have my first in Swiss top 16 YCS Bologna Mikanko deadlist. Combo Mikanko deadlist, not regular Mikanko.
That's insane. Yo, that deck is broken, and I feel like there's only like 2 or 3 humans on Earth that can actually play it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people play the deck differently to us. They play like go second, or they play far too many normal summons. Me and a small group of people, we tested this deck since YCS Indie about 2 months ago, and then we kept on improving it. And along the way, every time we improved it like the night before the YCS. We never played it properly. Every single round, we came back to each other and said, "Wow, like we figured out this, we figured out this." And so we realized after every single tournament, we were not playing the deck optimally. Even after YCS Richmond, where there were some ridiculous improvements, none of us topped. I messed up in round 11, which when I was on X2, so I didn't make the top cut. It was quite frustrating because we realized every single time we lost, it was to ourselves. We were not playing the deck at full potential. So yeah, I spent like a little bit under a month fully testing it, and then brought it to YCS Bologna. Did really well in Swiss, but then messed up quite a lot of times in the feature matches. They gave me a giant card for first place, and it's one of my favorite giant cards of all time.
Let's go. We want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
wasn't a
So
thing
like,
before.
look at this boy.
Unfreaking real. Oh my god, dude, it's the
Yeah,
price card. Let's
yeah.
go.
Like the actual price card, it says this thing here, like the first one of that season or something like that.
What?
Oh, I freaking
Yo.
love this.
Well, I mean, congratulations. You actually did very well with
Thank
your deck. You're actually really good with Mikanko. On top of just being good at Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, like, how many YCS tops do you have? I think I know the answer, but maybe my
I think
YouTube viewers don't know.
close to 30 maybe. I honestly don't know. I stopped counting after a while.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're a multi-billionaire, you know? Like, you have so much money that it's really hard to count, like, all the money you have. For you, you have, like, so many
What?
tops. It's like you're drowning in tops, you know? Like,
It's not that I don't care about it. I still care about it, but I haven't kept count in a while. I really wanted to go through this stat list because it's like I want to go through the history of building it because it's very niche. I don't think it's a lot of good players, they don't build this version, or they haven't developed this version. I think a lot of people don't understand how to play and build this deck properly. And I did a deck profile with Farfa before, but I was in a rush and there's no way to explain it all. So I wanted to explain like all the card choices and then some of the combo lines as well. And even then, when you actually start playing it, you'll notice there's so many different decision trees, and you have to decide them on the spot. Like you can't just take it one step at a time. You kind of have to work out, especially if you're going second.
with that said, let's get right into the deck profile. Alright, cool. So this is the deck profile. Absolutely beautiful. It's a 50 card pile. My eyes are kind of bleeding, but I mean, I understand. Of course, I played 60 cards myself in the past, and it was magnificent. And I've also played some 45 card abominations, but 50 without lawn mowing, without any of that, and without any hand traps either. You're basically just relying on your engine to break boards, and you know, I guess lava golem, but you don't rely on it. Like, it's just like if you draw it, it's nice, but you don't have to. Will you take us through the explanation of the ratios and
Oh,
everything?
of course. Originally in YSS Indianapolis, when the Black Witch engine first came out, along with SP, we had Ed Exception, Zach, and later on Chris Lynn. Ed came up with the Golem lock, and I really liked the deck. Originally, it did not have any of this. It didn't have Fenris, Lava Golem. It was like 40 cards. And then the night before the tournament, we added in Fenris and we added in Black Witch. Because Black Witch, as you'll see later on, gains you access to the Power Tool line. With the Power Tool line, you can go into the Mikanko stuff, or you can go into more synchro plays like with Barone. Plus so much with the synchro line, it's ridiculous. So as you can see, that the whole deck is basically all engine. And the thing about that is the engine is very good at going second, so you don't really rely on drawing Lava Golem that much. It's just nice to have it. During Indie, Ed showed the Golem lock on stream, so like a lot of people copied it. And I think including Michel, our friend Michel from South America, he won YCS Bolivia with it.
Yep.
But he had like XYZs in his extra deck. We thought that list was very subpar to our indie list, and then going forward to Richmond, we improved it even more, where we decided to make it close to 60. We had different opinions in the group. Ed played I think 58. I think Zach played 56. I played the lowest at 52. and I think Chris played at 54 or something like that. And the reason for that is there's lots of cards that we don't want to draw. It's okay to draw them sometimes. You can discard them for like the Bolstar Black Witch. You can discard them for souls to draw. You can discard it for when you draw 2, discard 1 for Ken. You never really want to draw Ken. You don't really want to draw Meiwashidori. You don't want to draw Rondo. Rondo is a snatch deal, so sometimes it's quite nice because you can just play it on, let's say, you can just activate it on their SP. So they have to chain there. If they don't chain there, as soon as I normal summon, I'm going to snatch steal your SP. Like, it doesn't start a chain, it's instantaneously. So Rondo is okay to draw sometimes. Even if they chain SP, that they're basically getting rid of that and another monster. So that's okay for one card. Don't really want to draw
Fire Dance?
Fire Dance, yes, because you want to search it. Kagura going first and Harpies going first isn't great either. So we made it, we increased the count, but I was adamant. My main contribution to the deck for Richmond was adding in Souls and Illusion, and also adding in Celine. Because like Celine is absolutely ridiculous. I showed it off in the YCS Richmond feature match. Souls can dump Diabolstar. And before Richmond, I don't think many people knew that, especially not Mikanko players. And then Mikanko can play a lot of Charmers, as I do as well. And you can link climb into Celine, bring back a Diabolstar, and then go for the Diabolstar engine. And like I said earlier, any level 7 and a level 1 tuner equals Power Tool.
Yeah, you just
And
don't...
Power Tool can...
Exactly.
Power Tool sets off both engines. The thing about this deck is like every part of it can search or go into another part. Like Herald can go into Ohime, so it goes into your Mikanko line, or it can go into Illusion if you link it off. Herald of is it Arclight? Yeah, is it Herald of Arclight?
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. You link it off and then you search Illusion, and Illusion is Souls. Souls is a draw 2 and Diabolstar when you Celine it back. And yeah, there's a lot of discards. There's a lot of fodder for Diabolstar and Souls because there's lots of equips that just stay there for no reason. And you can always draw 2. So we wanted to make it close. I still wanted to make it like 50. Because there were cards that we didn't want to draw. But there were cards like the triple tactic spells, which were absolutely some of the best cards of the deck. Because, of course, like Gen and Ken triggers them. That's the way you play through hand traps. Like, they have to drop Nip then. And this deck is so resilient at playing past hand traps, any hand traps. That's why I truly think it's the best deck by a small margin if you build it right and play it right. And I think I proved that in the YCS, because like the only time I lost any game or match was actually due to my own mistakes. Some of the mistakes are small. The stream mistakes were quite big, and I'll go into that later on. But this deck honestly has a solution for everything. Because of Frost can set like the barrier, it can set the Spirit Walk trap, and it acts as an interruption and it acts as a combo piece. It's ridiculous because Fenrir Search, Rise Heart. So like if you draw me, Shifter is a little bit worse. Like you better hope I don't have talents, because if I do, or like any of the triple tactic spells, because if I do, I'm setting up interruption and I'm looking at your hand, and I don't think you can like play past that. Like I could still potentially use Ken to rip another card. If I use Ken, summon Gen, that rips another card, make SP, make sure I have like Ohime on the field or something like that, set Spirit Walk. It's very, very easy to play past hand traps, especially Nibiru. Nibiru is funky, because like with Frost, I actually want them to Nibiru sometimes. When they Nibiru, there's times where I still like pretty much full combo them, because it triggers Frost. Another thing about Frost is, like I said, this deck, every part of it searches another part. So Frost can go into things like Prep, goes into Ohime, and can go into Reborn, it can go into Harpies. Like, it can go into problem-solving cards and engine cards, which is amazing. Another thing is like Fire Dance. Fire Dance can summon their monster too. That allows me to use Frost, like giving them a monster, so I can, like, if they Ash me, I can Fire Dance, summon back my Hare, and then summon their Ash back. And then later on, I might take that Ash and link it into synchro into a level 10 with the 7s. But before then, I'll use Frost, get talents, look at their hand or something like that. Or if I already have talents, or I don't even need to look at their hand or do anything like that, I could, if I need more engine, I can choose Prep. So I think the biggest mistake that people make with this deck is that they're playing it as a go second, or even just like a Mikanko deck.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. The Mikanko deck that all you guys are playing right now is barely a Mikanko deck. It's just more of like a warrior deck It's almost like Infernoble, but without the Infernoble cards in a way.
Yeah. Yes. There are some Infernoble cards as well. So there's separate sections to this. There's the Fenrir section. There's the Warrior section with Bradamantite, Infernoble, Renard, Fireflint Lady. Like that's like the Warrior package. Like those are your extenders.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought Bradamante was Ricardetto at first, so I'm actually shocked that you're playing this card. But it makes a lot of sense. It's insane.
This card is amazing.
It plays under Droll, I know.
It plays under Droll and also equips any equip card.
So basically, for you guys at home watching this video, the reason why it plays through Droll is because you're equipping the equip spell from deck. You're not actually searching it from deck to hand. Equipping some equip spells is pretty relevant because some of the equip spells, they're not like your classic Axe of Despair-esque cards. Like some of these cards, they special summon monsters, they bounce back cards to the hand, so they get your stuff going.
Yep, absolutely. You're absolutely right. So I was saying, Mikanko players have usually got this right, especially in Richmond. Like, we were quite frustrated because after I messed up in the feature match in the last round, we saw 2 Mikanko players top that tournament, and they were just playing normal Mikankos. They were playing like 3 Hare, 2 Huli. The problem that I wanted to solve was Lava Golem. I wanted to play Lava Golem as like my main non-engine, and to do that, I have to lower down the normal summon count. There's still 7 in here, but because I'm playing 50, it kind of evens out. I want it to be less. Like, I almost played 1 Hare, but there's combo lines where you need 2 Hare. So I only played 2 Gen, 1 Ken. Your main access into them is using Assault. You're not trying to normal summon them. Like, going second, the normal summons are really bad.
Speaking of the Devil, do you think this deck is still viable without Isolde if it gets banned?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's an Isolde deck. That's what I thought.
Originally, this idea came because me and Ed, we both love Dark World.
Yeah.
And when Gen and Ken first came out, everyone like messaged me talking about Dark World,
including me.
Yes, exactly. But I was saying to everybody, it doesn't solve Dark World's issues. It only makes Dark World's advantages stronger. But it makes this deck amazing. Because this deck is like Dark World's. It can combo through any like little hand traps, even draw sometimes. Like, we played a match just before Richmond, me and someone else playing Unchained. He full Unchained combos me, and he has Ash that he searched through Prosperity. I didn't know he had draw at the time. He draws me and ashes me, and I OTK him for it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, it does, like, draw, you do need certain cards. You do need like the Wanted and like Fenrir and stuff. Like, you do need the special summons for that to happen. Like, certain hands, when you get drawed, you can set up some things, but you do need to have the certain hands.
The funny thing about the Unchained matchup is that I actually feel like it's low-key really not that bad because Caesar, it only negates spell and trap card activations that try to special summon monsters.
Yep.
But your equip spells, they don't special summon anything on activation. It's all of their effects. So Caesar doesn't negate your equip spells, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, and that's the other advantage of this deck. Not many people still knew the rulings. Arabesque can't be stopped by Caesar. A lot of decks can't handle Huli as well. Like, even if I'm facing a board against Tillemans or Rescue Ace, I need to use most of the cards. If I can't break through them and make a board, or break through them and OTK, my goal is to break through them using my resources and leave myself with like an Arabesque, and to be able to bounce their thing, make Huli. Huli search the trap, set the trap, and Huli makes any Mikanko card untargetable.
Yeah.
So the thing is, now they only have 1 or 2 outs in the deck. Like, depending on if you're on Tier or Rescue Ace or Unchained. Usually it's the Typhoon, the new Zeus. But as soon as you summon it, I'm going to use Spirit Walk and I'm going to take it. And usually the game grinds in my favor then. Because this deck really doesn't have any specified weaknesses. It's so strong. It has like it has solutions to everything. Because it can OTK normally with access code. Because Selene climbing into access code, that's the other crazy thing. Like I was saying, like Souls dumping Black Witch and then link climbing, whilst it's link climbing into access code, it gets Black Witch and gets value off it and can potentially go through Power Tool. And if you're going second, this could literally just be with Souls and another monster going into Charmer. So it can OTK that way, or it can OTK through like do heavy damage with Mikanko with their 0 attack and just running into their monsters, or it can use Kagura, or it can grind game is amazing with this deck. Like, because Miwashidori, as long as any Mikanko card battled, I can bounce anything.
Yeah.
So let's say you leave a board, let's say you have an SP I can't currently get rid of. I have no monsters. I'm gonna, in my turn, Miwashidori, target, let's say, Hare, right? So I summon Hare, I might not trigger its effect to search, because if I trigger, SP can target and
Yep.
banish, right? So I just attack into SP.
End of damage step banish, they can't respond.
Yes, well, bounce back, they can't respond.
Yeah, bounce back,
So
yeah.
like, there's so much going on with it. There's so much utility. It's very difficult to play against it. There literally is no set way to beat it. Like, this deck can play through multiple little hand traps, sometimes even little/big hand traps, like draw plus hand trap, draw little hand, like imperm nib, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's usually not that great against these kind of decks. Nibiru just overall is, I want to say, almost bad against every single deck. I can only think of like 1 or 2 decks this format that loses to Nibiru. But Nibiru is really good against the player, not against the deck, so that's the reason why people are playing
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Let's see if I need to explain any other card choices. Okay, I think I need to explain. It used to be 48. After Richmond, I played 48, but I added Monster Reborn and Harpies, and I took out Change of Heart. So Change of Heart, I realized it's a very good Frost target.
Yeah.
But I realized that in this format, when you change of hearts, they usually have an SP, so they're gonna banish. Or if you change your heart any like rescue ace monster, they go into chain emergence. Like, a targeted take is not that strong, whereas talent,
Is insane.
a non-targeted take on resolution is much stronger. So like going second, I usually use talents to take. So I took out Change of Heart. Like, Harpies is way better versus things like Labyrinth and Rescue Ace anyway. In Richmond, we actually had Droplet. We wanted 2 non-engine because like we were playing way more than 40, so we wanted more chance of drawing like one of them. Like, Droplet's one option, Super Poly is another option. The problem with Droplet is that we don't actually have that many resources to Droplet. You might think we can get rid of the equip spells that are just left over on the field, but if you're going second, you need to be able to play before you get them.
Yeah.
So like, usually Droplet is the first thing you play, and Droplet was very mid. Super Poly is good, but not good against every matchup. But also, you need to invest a lot of the extra deck, and doing so means pretty much taking out the synchro package, which is the best part of the deck. There is a really cool play with Super Poly. There's a cool play with Super Poly with this deck, because someone Super Poly'd me using with Tier.
I know, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, they made Garura, but they
Yeah.
put in defense. So I have 2 Mikankos with equip spells, and I attack into it because the double damage. Is double. The Mikanko's reflected back on him. It's like 4,800 a piece, so that's game.
Yeah.
So if I play Super Poly and I make Garura, it's a lot of resources, but you can technically transverse, give them the Garura in defense, and use 2 Mikankos to attack.
Geonator Transverser is so annoying.
It's so broken because like, okay, this card breaks field. It's not just for going first. Like,
it's not just Acid Golem. I know.
No, Acid. Okay, here's the thing.
It's an illusion.
Bring out Acid Golem.
Yeah.
After Indie, we barely bring it out. You'll see some of the combos later on. We only bring it out if we talent them and look at their hand. Get rid of the out if they have an out, or if they're playing a specific deck that is very weak against Golem. Like, we usually have Golem and other things set up. We don't over rely on the Golem. If we don't talent look at the hand, we just make a gigantic board. And sometimes even if we talent, we still make a gigantic board regardless. So Transverse versus Unchained, if you let me have any 2 materials and you put your monsters that you need to pop in like incorrect zones, I'm gonna make Transverse. And now, because it's pointing to it, Transverse says that any card pointing to it can't be destroyed by card effects.
So you're protecting yourself from
armor.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't use what's the pop card called? The trap card.
Escape?
Yes, Escape. You can't use that on it. There's other neat little things like Fire Dance. If I use Fire Dance and I special summon back your Unchained Rage, so now that card's negated. You can't use its link off effect in my turn.
Oh my god.
And you also can't use Shayama to pop it. So like, now it does nothing. It just stays on the field and does nothing. The Unchained combo in my turn centers around that card, like being able to pop stuff and reborn stuff and use the link to reborn stuff. Yeah. What other things? Because it's a 50 card deck, we're looking at the side deck now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a 50 card deck, you can't really side that many cards going first. Like, you have to solve the deck is already very good at going first. And there can only be one is very good going first versus, like, I started in versus Lab as well when I'm going first. Like, at some point they will have an Ariana and they'll try to play Big Welcome and I chain that and it's almost over. It's very good against Unchained, obviously. It's very good against Dragons, very good against Plants. Versus Unchained, Dragon and Plants, I started in going second as well. Because they can't deal with it. Like, if you bait out the Escape, they really can't deal with it. Like, Plant can't at all. Plant can use Furion Regulus to negate, but it doesn't destroy. So they
Yeah.
still get rid of all the plants. Like, you can put up a big of a board as you want. If I draw there can only be one, it's over.
Regulus doesn't negate there can only be one, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't negate and destroy. It just negates.
No,
Like,
it doesn't even negate. It does nothing. Yeah, but
negates the effect.
yeah, but there can only be one doesn't have an effect when you activate it.
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
So
it does nothing, basically. Yeah, it does nothing.
It negates nothingness. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
What else? I think it's just the overall better going first card. We have a what's that? Dim Barrier is like a good frost target versus Pearly versus
if they hand trap you, they might as well just back up their cards.
Even the Book of Eclipse Sphere Mode. So Eclipse it wasn't there before because of Centurion. This deck is actually quite weak to Centurion.
Yeah.
I thought, but I actually beat it going second. He calamity me as well. The thing is, you need to survive one turn, and then that's it. I was lucky enough because I drew the trap, right? Spirit Wall.
Oh.
So I used Ohime because you can still use Ohime in hand.
Yeah.
And search Huli, discard something, normal summon Huli, set the trap. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I know, but like King Calamity is still insane against your deck because it renders the rest of your deck useless.
Yeah. For that turn, I'm not doing anything else. But if you survive the following turn and you can play, that's the only way to beat Centurion going second in game one.
Yeah.
So game two, I just side in, like if I go first, I side in like D barrier and I don't know, like take out. You have to take out the lava golems. You always So the side deck plan is you always take out the lava golems going first. And going second, you take out the normal summons. You take out one Rise Heart, one Gen, and one Hare. And you usually side stuff like Sphere Mode. So the good thing about Sphere Mode is Infernoble cannot destroy it with Dolphin because it's question mark attack.
Yeah.
Now that you see it, what do? Do you not set up full board? If you don't set up full board, then I might be able to play past it. If you just leave two monsters, I might be able to lava golem. Dragon Synchro player, he milled me with Vampire Zombie and saw Sphere Mode. So he used Baron to pop his third monster, and I lava golem him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Book of Eclipse are for Pearly, sure, but it's mainly for Centurion going second, and so is the Ultimate Slayer as a fourth card. Ultimate Slayer is really nice. Like, there's not many decks I actually want to frost into Ultimate Slayer. Maybe Vanadium, but like not. You still have like the rest of the Vanadium board to deal with. Ultimate Slayer getting rid of Herald of Arclight and then bouncing one of their Synchro monsters and Herald of Arclight searching either Illusions or Ohime is absolutely insane. Like, sorry, go on.
Ultimate Slayer is also good against Centurion because by the time they go, so it's also game.
I almost thought like if I had space, I'd probably side in 3 of those, but because one is not enough to draw it. Like you don't really want to frost it, but it's I don't think anything else need much explanation. We can go on to
the combos.
The first replay. So this is the standard like golem combo with just a warrior and an extender.
So you go normal summon the Hare and then use the effect of the Bradamante, and then that's going to be equipping the Durandal from deck, and that's going to be triggering the Hare so that you can search a Mikanko equip spell. Fire Dance, that's a Monster Reborn, and the Durandal is going to be searching the Renault, and then special summon Renault, recycle back the Durandal, go for an Isolde, I've seen this before, and then search the useless Rise Heart, send Arabesque, Rondo, and Mayowa Shidori. This is such a stupid play. I can't believe that now Isolde sending the equip spells is almost as good as Isolde summoning a monster because
yes.
It makes no sense. It's like a double extender, like way more than that because it doesn't negate the effect of the monster that you summon. Such a stupid mechanic.
Only that, if you're using 2 warrior monsters that are not Mikanko, it's not Hare, and you don't have a Mikanko in there for Mayowa Shidori, like you can. If you have Ohime, you can, like, after summoning Ohime from Ceremony in Graveyard in that same turn can banish yourself to dump any Mikanko card.
Yeah.
So then your Mayowa Shidori comes live.
It's insane. Isolde summoned again, and then summon the Ken so that you can draw 2, discard 1. I guess that kind of gets your stuff going. If you draw a Talons here, it's insane. And then Fire Dance, revive back the Hare, Geonator Transverser, and of course revive back the Hare with the Mayowa Shidori, Acid Golem, and then Swap Control. And at this point, I mean, it's a Happy Land City for you. Oh, that's true, huh? You get back the Ken.
Yeah. You always still rip a card. With Talons, you're probably ripping 2 cards.
Yeah, it's insane.
So the SP gets rid of. Oh yeah, I misclicked there. SP is supposed to get rid of
the Ken
again, so that they only have the Golem. This is the basic thing with just 2 warriors. Not accounting for cards you draw as well. but obviously you have 3 other cards, and if you have access to like Ohime, a tuner, or like Black Witch Engine, Souls, like this, the end board is so much more insane. But that's like the basic. So this one is any level 7 and a level 1 tuner. So like Fenrir and a level 1 tuner, or
This is gonna blow
a
your
Black
mind,
Witch.
guys.
Yeah, man. I love this line.
So
Right. Okay,
stupid.
so Power Tool now searches 3 equip spells.
Yeah. Oh, equip.
And you
Sorry, it's
usually
better.
search,
Yeah.
you usually search both Inferno Balls and then any other one.
Yeah, Arabesque. I mean, that's useless right now, so it's not even relevant.
Well, so here's the line, right? You either use Arabesque here,
Or you don't.
or you make Barone,
Mm-hmm.
or you make Barone. So the thing is, if you don't use Arabesque here and you make Barone, what happens is that when you drop the Renault, the third equip that you chose
Oh, it's dead.
essentially becomes you're adding equip from deck to hand almost, basically.
Yeah. I see where this is going. Okay.
So now that you've used Hare, bounce this. So now you're going into the Assault line. So you're going into the Mikanko stuff. That's if you need the Mikanko stuff. Like the rest of your hand might have the Mikanko stuff, so you don't need to do this. But I think what I do here is I try to combo a little bit with just those 2 and see what it ends up with. I can't remember how I ended up here. Those weren't great draws.
Yeah, we can already see that this is going for the Geonator Transversor combo. And every path leads to Rome, honestly. It looks very easy to do.
The next combos I try to not to go Golem to show you. Like, so yeah, this I'm using a full 5 card hand. I just randomly like did a 5 card hand, and I wanted to show you how the Power Tool line works when you're not going into the Mikanko line. So
a lot of juice cards right here. It's actually kind of insane. Oh, and by the way, another thing, because a lot of people might they might be looking at your games and be like, oh, you keep misplaying, you're summoning Fenrir in the relinquished Anima zone, you suck at the game, blah blah blah. Yeah, this deck is so complicated that every zone matters so much, and you really need to be able to think ahead.
Actually.
Yeah.
The Fenrir is summoned there because you normally get rid of it. I don't know if you watched the stream, actually. I just want to go on a side tangent for a bit, but I got absolutely blasted in like the 2 feature matches that I played. I didn't realize it at the time. I thought my friends were joking, but then I watched it over, and a lot of people thought I was slow playing. So I do want to address that for a moment, because I do appreciate that people watching and don't play in the competitive events, when they're just watching the stream, it might seem like one thing, but it's partly out of context, not enough information that they're given, because there are some other things that is happening. And 2, partly, some of it is actually my fault. Some of it is definitely my fault. First of all, this deck has infinite amounts of actions.
Yeah.
And as you can see, I do not interrupt them. If you watch my round 12 feature match against Tielemans, he actually takes 14 minutes in game 1 to combo, because I don't stop him. He goes through like 90% of his deck. Now, if you imagine my deck as well, my deck can do the exact same, but maybe even a bit longer. So imagine a match is only 45 minutes, and he's comboing for 14 minutes. And if I combo fully for 14 minutes, and in game 3 he combos 14, there's no play left. There really is no play left. And unfortunately that's the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's only 45 minutes. Most decks that we play these days, you cannot have a full 3 games with the time that we're given. And unfortunately, that is the deck that I've chosen. Because I'm not interrupting them, I'm letting them do everything. And that takes a lot more time. And when I go, even if they stop me a little bit, I can still do everything. But unfortunately, it's almost like an FTG deck. Like, I'm letting him do everything, he's letting me do everything. What really bothers me is that some people are suggesting that I purposely slow played to my advantage. So, first of all, that's cheating. That's completely illegal. If judges spot that, that's not a slow play warning, that's just a straight DQ, I think. It's at least a match loss. I need to check up on that, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, don't worry about it, yeah. But yeah, no, of course, yeah. So, intentionally stalling for time is a DQ ban.
In round 9, against the plant player, because he's a combo player that has a lot of steps too. He drawed me in game 1, and I had a hand that was just terrible, like into draw. As soon as he summoned Genius Loci, I knew that he was going to full combo, and there was absolutely no card that I could draw that could make a comeback. So I scooped up there. Like, if I wanted to stall for time, like, you don't scoop, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, I scooped within 2 minutes of time. The games that you're winning in time anyway, you're winning normally. But then there are some games that you're losing, but you would have won without time. I don't know if you guys know Ed Exception. He's very, very fast player. And he took this deck to time sometimes. And I told my group, like, you have to play as fast as possible. I know, like, they know the lines are very difficult to see. The other thing is, I think some people aren't appreciating is that sometimes on stream, there's other factors that's happening. So when I watched over my feature match, I realized there was a lot of times I would check in the graveyard, but I don't think the audience knew the game was stopped. So there's a lot of times where the judges, they have to do two things. They have to maintain the game state, and because it's stream, they have to maintain the game looks good for the stream. They have to do all the stream kind of things. In the past, in the feature matches that are written, you don't get stopped that often. So your thought process isn't like stopped as much. When people distract me, like judges, just for little things, and they're doing their job. Obviously, they're doing their job, correcting zones, little things like clarification. Sometimes they stop you because they don't understand something.
Yeah.
That messes with my thought process. And
Understandable.
because of that, I lose my thought process in a very complicated deck with lots of different paths to the line and stuff. I misplayed hard twice. Yeah, I'm not proud of that. That is definitely my fault.
Don't worry about it though. This deck's about to die very soon.
It's kind of frustrating that people were getting it a bit mixed up, but I do understand that like people watching at home, they don't have all the information as well.
Yeah, people
That's
just
fine.
be hating.
Let's go for the next line. So
I'm also in Raise Heart, banish the Fenrir, and then you're banishing 3 cards, and then the reinforcement of the army gets you the Farflint, and that is Isolde actually, because Fenrir is also a warrior monster. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
So just to mention, I am not playing around any hand traps. I'm just trying to show you the best combo with that given hand. So right now I'm trying to show you the power tool line, the second power tool line that goes into Barone. So I don't have Wanted, right? I don't have Wanted. So Wanted is usually Diabol Star, but I use Illusion and I use Souls to go into Diabol Star.
You basically have Wanted since you have Magician Souls.
Yes, the only thing that Wanted gives you is an extra draw at the end. Yeah, so I get talents too. That's absolutely ridiculous. I get to look at the hand.
And then you're foolishing for the.
I can't remember what I ended up with. I think I end up with giving them Golem with no materials. So I think a lot of people don't. I'm not sure if Mikanko players know this line.
SP Low Knight.
Yes.
Oh,
so we
sick.
go through the Black Witch
Special
line,
summoning Jet
the
Synchron from
Oak
hand. That's
line.
rough. That's rough.
Yeah, it is like yeah. Again, Jet Synchron is one of those cards that you don't really want to draw. Is one of the reasons why we make it 50.
Bro, it also gets the equip spells from Grave too. That's crazy.
Yes.
What?
It's so broke. The other thing is, if you make Barone here and you're forced to use the Barone negate for some reason, in their standby phase, you can bring back Power Tool. And Power Tool's
interruption. It's a Veiler.
Special summon, not synchro summon, and it has an interruption to negate monster effects.
That is so stupid. That is actually so unfair. Yeah, Serge Renault, get another equip spell. Like, your cards just keep going plus. That's crazy.
Yes. And then when that Almaze, like, when I synchro into Barone, that Almaze will bring back, like, a Fire Warrior as well.
Yeah. So far, I understand everything that you're trying to do, and then you make Herald of Arclight, Appaloosa.
No, okay. I didn't use the SP Barone line. I think I just made a board.
Yeah, you didn't go for SD Golem actually. SP.
Yes. I think the next one I go for it. So yeah, like that board with taking a card out of their hand. Sometimes you can take 2 with Ken as well.
This board doesn't really do anything though. I mean, like it's 5 interruptions, but like the Spirit Walk isn't live.
Usually, I think I did mess up a little bit here. Usually, you're trying to end up on Ohime as well. That's the other thing. Like the other Mikanko players try to end up on Huli. That's not what Huli is for anymore. Like, there's no point end up on Huli when they have 5 or 6 cards in hand. They can get rid of it. Like Huli is better in a grand game. The only Mikanko monster you should leave out is Ohime.
Yeah, because if it's quick effect, you can also get Angelic as Angelic Ring, which is the only way to negate Super Poly and Dark Ruler. It's kind of broken.
Super Poly, it's not a huge issue. Like Angelic Ring is only sided in when I have to side out Golem first, when I'm going first, and there's nothing else good to side it in.
Yeah.
Like there are some matchups where the economy 1 is not good.
Alrighty, so this hand has Wanted, Bradamante, Double Prep, and Mikanko Water Arabesque. Yeah, it looks extremely good, and Prep is obviously no once per turn, which is beautiful card design. We love it. Oh my god, I just realized, like, bouncing back the Arabesque with the Bradamante is, like, so convenient because the card is, like, as good in the hand as it is on the field.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And Bradamante is good because it's a tuner. Sometimes when you draw Jet, you're trying to use the Sinful spell to get out the other tuner, which is Bradamante.
Yeah. Do you sometimes make Herald of Arclight before 5th summon?
Yes. So this deck, there's no set lines. So, like I said, I'm not playing around any hand traps just to show, like, the max capacity of the hands that I'm giving. But if you're playing around certain hand traps, for example, Troll, you're trying to like use Ohime first. Ohime searching ceremony
Yep.
is like the better ad. And if you're playing around Nib, if Nib really seems to hurt you, you can make Herald early and then have more materials, and then use Herald Isolde and something else and go into Appaloosa that way. Yeah, Herald, sometimes you leave it out on the borders and negate for them. Like if they're playing Tillemans, I'm leaving it out.
Oh yeah.
But usually I'm making Herald to link off if I'm missing either the illusion, the Black Witch part of my deck, or the Ohime Black Witch card.
Oh, Magician's Souls and Power Tool Braver. No.
No, and the cards meld so well.
Oh,
Like, people
this
look
is
at it,
beautiful. Oh, this is
they look at
unfair.
this deck list and they think it's just a pile, but it's
No.
a well organized pile.
It makes so much sense. Oh, Power Tool Braver, stupid. It's so good. Yeah, and summon the Ken. Draw 2 discard. You had 7 cards in hand for a while. And then preps. Oh my god, yeah, you went for the Kagura, so now the prep is actually a +1. That's crazy, but the Kagura is useless. It's just like...
Kagura when going first,
it does nothing.
In hindsight, you can side a Kagura, but Kagura going second is so ridiculous.
Doesn't target, so it's good.
Yes. You don't even need to use Isolde to load your grave up with spells for Kagura, because you can, if you have the Almaze Infinable spell, that's 2 Infinable spells, equip spells in the graveyard, because you Almaze and then get rid of it, get Durandal, get something else.
I think that's the worst Infernoble card, huh? I mean, out of the good ones, it's the worst one.
To play Power Tool and Isolde, you do need exactly this amount of equip spells.
Yeah, Geonator.
Oh yeah, I go for the heavier Golem line here.
Oh,
So
holy crap.
bring out Ohime,
Search.
dump Huli,
And draw 1.
draw
Fire
4 cards.
Dance. Yeah, SP. Ah, this is it. Yeah. So use the effect and then SP temporarily banish the Acid Golem. On end phase, get it back with 0 materials. And then it burns your opponent for 2k.
Exactly.
Oh,
And don't forget, sometimes if you're missing materials for a combo piece, you can discard the trap Spirit Walk, and then whatever you Mayawashidori, that'll get banished when it leaves the field. And then you can banish Spirit Walk to special summon a banished Mikanko monster, or a Mikanko monster in hand as an extender if you need it.
Yeah, it doesn't revive back from the banish, so sometimes the Mayawashidori banishing can be like a positive thing.
But what's dirty is this card, this deck when it grinds, right? If it Kaguras you, it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
But if they still live, right? If Mayawashidori is in graveyard, Mayawashidori can reborn the Ohime that was Kaguru'd out because it was
properly summoned. It wasn't cheated out with ceremony.
Yeah, against the Centurion player that Calamity locked me, but it went on for like turns.
Yeah, so you see, when you lose the dice roll against Centurion, if you don't have like a very specific way to beat them, you need like the nuts. Yeah.
It is difficult, but I think the matchup is so strong.
If you go first,
side,
yeah.
I think also because Centurion wasn't well represented. Like against other decks in the meta, Centurion wasn't very good. Oh, let's talk about hand traps for a moment. The other reason why I didn't play hand traps or side hand traps, we decided that obviously above 40, near 50 is the correct number for this type of combo Mikanko. The problem is if you side or main hand traps, right, you need to draw 2 or more. So you have to main or side so much more because you're in a 50 card deck. The ratios, you'll need to like up your hand trap amount just to see more of them. If you don't see more of them, because like this deck can play through hand traps. If you come across this deck and you're trying to hand trap them and it doesn't stop them, and you draw a hand traps for your 6th card,
you
it's
lose.
over. Like drawing a hand trap for a 6th card is so annoying. So like I'd rather just let them do them all, and then this deck naturally with their engine and the very small non-engine of Lava Golem can break through them super easily.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Anyways, let's get into the 5th and final replay. Yes, so let's take a look at it. So we've got Preparation of Rites, Mikanko Ceremony, Bradamante, Monster Reborn, and Gen. First is Gen, summon the Ken, and then draw 2, discard 1. Let's see what you're gonna be getting. Okay, Jet Synchron is glued to your hand, apparently. That's pretty shit. Yeah. And then search Illusion of Chaos.
Preparation of Rites changes everything.
And the fact that you can search 2 relevant cards is something. I knew you were gonna send the Mayawashidori because that card also sucks to have in your hand. You just want to pitch it. It's a great discard fodder or like a Souls target. And obviously you're drawing prep off of the top.
Wolfstar can discard it as well. There's so many discards. That's why you don't really mind Lava Golem, even if you go first, because you can discard it. You can Kagura as well, because Kagura needs a level 6 or more tribute.
Yeah.
So like when Fenrir adds Fenrir, or you have dead Lava Golems in your hand, you can just Kagura it away.
Let's see. So send probably Arabesque and the 2 Infernobles. Oh, no, actually, Rondo, so not Almace. Interesting. Okay. And then Celine, revive back Diabellstar. If
I don't
there's
think it's not that important unless you plan to Ohime one of those spells back, because this line you're going into Power Tool, so you can get any of the equips anyway.
okay, if you were to get Nibiru like here, I'm just kidding. You told me
Oh,
you're in.
okay, if I'm playing past hand traps, then this is very, very different line, I would
Yeah,
say.
of course.
Nibiru is actually kind of cool. Like, not only does it activate your thrust, but like it makes your liner live as well. If you get rid of the Nibiru, like, or if you take it through Rondo, then you can liner link up into Celine, into like bring back Black Witch, into Black Witch line, and Diabosta Black Witch line, and then the
Access code
Celine
pass.
can go into Appaloosa.
Oh, Appaloosa. Oh, that's cute. I was gonna say access code pass, but yeah, that's good enough.
Access code pass.
That's my kind of high IQ move. Alright, okay, now you're getting for Jesus. Is this like the 7th equip spell? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 7th exactly. I was keeping track, but I was like, geez, there's so many. Oh my god. By the way, I realized like your jet synchrons, you were never discarding them. You're always summoning them from the hand. It's so...
because like it's an extra tuner that way.
Yeah, like you need
You know,
two
if I'm
tuners.
discarding it, it's less tuners.
And then Baron, and then Almace recycled back, and then Jet Synchron. Yeah, it makes sense. And then Herald of Arclight. For sure, for sure. So it's like, it's a true neg 1 to draw. Because it's not going to be like a discard and then you just revive it back once. Like, you want to still summon it from the hand.
Is it? No, okay, yeah, this is not... Yeah, I have Reborn here, but it could just be the same as if I had, like, Rondo or something like that. Yeah.
Quite clearly, this is an unbreakable board, though. Nobody's winning through that.
If I had Talents too, that's taken another card. There was another card in the extra deck. We had Omega in there originally, but Omega seemed like a win more card, and also we preferred another Charmer instead. Because this deck on Charmer is just insane. Also, you don't really want to use the level 7 to go into Omega. Usually, you want to go into Axel to go into Power Tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are some. I really wish more people like played this deck, because the most fun deck I've played in a very long time. Like I had so much fun building and playing this deck for the YCSs. And honestly, most of my losses are my fault, whether little or small. And because of that, it just means we're still not playing the deck at 100% optimal. And I went first into it almost undefeated. If you play this deck at 100% optimal, I don't know, like...
Well, I mean, it was a pleasure to have you in here. Any shoutouts that you would want to give before we end this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like people that lent me cards, because some of the cards I didn't have. Victoria, Ewan Jennings, they're all from UK. Benny C. We call our groups Mikankos.
Yeah, I know, I've heard that before.
Yeah, those three guys, Chris Lynn, Zach, and Ed Exception, we've been testing this deck like back and forth for like the past 3 YCSs. Like it was a lot of fun testing with them. Like,
all right, well, I mean, it was a pleasure to have you in here, Simon. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.